hello, my sweet friends. How are you today? Welcome to another episode of the Art K Coach podcast. Christina here. Super happy to have you back. Another Tuesday morning here from Lisbon, Portugal. How's everybody doing today? Well, today I have a different episode for you. Not different, it's one of those more like me randomly speaking episodes that I have been doing in a while. My episodes have been quite it's going to sound bad, but quite professional. Me, serious Christina. But I think it's time to go back to the me Christina that you're used to, especially because this last is not last. I'm sorry. I give you a spoiler. This episode is about taking a break. So it is, yes, it is the last episode of the month, and it's also the last episode before the summer break. Last year, I took the month of August as a summer break, and I have to say that I loved it. I loved it because it gave me time. It gave me time to think, to unwind, to view things from afar, to even to question things, to see where everything was going, to take decisions, and to rest. Above all, to rest. And I will be very silly if I didn't walk the walk. I'm always sharing with you how important resting is. So here it is. I'm doing it too. I'm taking a little break because that is part of running a very healthy business and is part of running a very healthy podcast as well. So this is the episode before the break. Don't go anywhere because I'm going to tell you in this one why I'm taking the break and how important it is for you to take one as well. We glorify constant productivity. And if you have been listening to the podcast this last month, and if you follow me on social media, you know that I've been going through some sort of rebranding of the Art K Coach because I decided to spend the 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 message for creatives and not only cake makers, and also niching down on time management. I'm not going deep into the business management side of um, the cake business or your creative business, because I realized that my message, my strong message, what I'm good at, what I really believe in, and the core of everything that I do has to do with time management. However, going through this rebrand and which has given me a lot of work, um, I have to rebrand a lot of things. I have to rethink my website, my message, my groups, my communities. I've been really, really busy. And of course, we have this idea that, we need to be productive. You need to keep going. How are you going to take a break right now in the middle of a rebranding? Are you absolutely nuts? Probably, but yes, I'm doing it. I'm doing it because one of the things that I've learned all of these years is that when you take a step back, and I learned this actually with the sugar paste model. Every time I was focused on creating a topper or a decoration for a cake, or decorating a whole cake, being sitting very close and very focused and constantly busy on something very specific for a very long time got me to points where I couldn't see the full picture. I couldn't see the design. I couldn't see the flaws. I couldn't see what was working, was not working. So literally I would stand up from my chair, take a few laps around the house, like just walk around the house, even take the dog out, take a little distance, and then come back and see the piece or the cake with different eyes, because that was the way for me to say, okay, now I see the whole picture. I see now what's going on. I see what's working. I see what's not working. That same principle I apply it to my business. I applied it last year when I took the break, and honestly, I think, answering to the question why I'm doing this in the middle of a rebranding, it makes way more sense because I've been so focused in one little thing for so long. Um, on tailoring the message, on creating the social media rebranding and the social media plan, and creating content, and changing the products, the coaching products, changing the communities, questioning every single detail of everything that I'm doing, that I need to take my distance from it. And I cannot do it physically because I mean it's not a cake, but I can do it with time because it's time management. So I'm managing the time on that, and I decided yes, I'm going to take a break. It was very healthy last year, and I think it's going to be as healthy this year. Also, I mean, personally, my family it's going through also some changes. My oldest daughter is leaving the nest officially now. She just graduated college because she studied college here in the city, so now she's moving abroad, actually, which it's a thing. It's a thing. I mean, for her, for us, for everybody as a family. And also, my teenage daughter is a teenager in this era of social media and in this era of everything that is going on for teenagers. And I need to take a deeper look into that side of my life as well because it's part of life. It's part of life, and it goes very fast. And I need to enjoy it, to appreciate it, to be present, not only for my business. Because at the end of the day, this is what I stand for. I stand for creating a business that is built around the life that you have and prioritize the life that you have. Otherwise, I will be employed somewhere asking my boss to take a little break to be with my family or just having weekends, and that's it. And that's not what I want. So, a little bit of behind the scenes of what's going on. But yes, I decided to take a break even now that I'm in the middle of this restructure. I started this part saying that we glorify constant productivity. And if you listen to the episode before, the previous episode about being busy but not getting anywhere, I give you the example of factory lines. We think that productivity should be measured by the amount of time that we spend doing something, but actually, productivity should be measured about with results. The thing is, how do we know what results? How do we know how to measure those results if we're not clear on the results? If we're not clear on what we're doing? If we're not clear on the outcome that we want? If we're not clear in the life that we want to live? So, stop glorifying constant productivity based on being busy and not being productive. So I kind of rephrased that because we celebrate being busy. We admire people who never stop. We wear exhaustion almost like a badge of honor. But I know that, I mean, somewhere along the way, you second guess it and you ask yourself, we're humans. We're not supposed to be living like this. So, in other words, you do deserve a pause. And I am taking ownership of that and I am taking that break. So, before we take this little break, and as I like to do in every episode that we have, either for Christmas, for New Year, or for anniversary celebrations, I'm going to give you a little recap in the next part of what this season of 2026 had taught me and what I'm taking with me during this break. So, over the past months here in the Art K Coach podcast, we have spoken about a lot of things. We have guests, we have talked about goals, about time management, about social media, about building businesses, about the K community, about rebranding. We have talked so many things. But I can give you a short list of the things that I have taken away from this past 6 months because I think in the last 6 years or since Cake Friends Stay Creative started, these past 6 months have been the more intense ones, knowledge wise. And knowledge wise, of not learning, accumulating knowledge, no, but learning about myself, learning about my business, learning about what I want, and focusing on results. So they have been intense. And I think they have been the result of everything that I have accumulated in the past 6 years, actually bloom in the last 6 months, if that makes sense. Um, However, if I can name a few things that this past 6 months of the Art Coach podcast has given me, I will have to say it has uh, given me the power of making intentional decisions. Because, yes, we have talked about planning, prioritizing, time blocking, protecting your creativity, building habits. We have talked about all of that. But at the end of the day, what has built in me is that confidence on saying, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make this decision intentionally and I'm going to own whatever outcome it might bring because I'm confident not in the result, but in the decision that I'm making, which is different, but it's powerful because even though it has been one of the 6 months of all the time that I've been spending doing the podcast or in my communities that I've had more results, it hasn't been the 6 months that I have been the busiest, actually. Like, I'm not busy all the time, but the amount of result and ownership that I have gotten in this past 6 months is amazing. And that's what I want to share with you. That's what I want the Art K coach to become. This message, because I have lived it, that says it is doable. You can rest, you can have time for yourself, you can prioritize other things, but you still can have results because it's all about being intentional and it's all about walking the talk. I love this because I realized something the other day. If I truly believe that rest matters, if I truly believe that prioritizing is what's going to make the difference, if I truly believe that knowing yourself and going deep personally and emotionally is going to actually bring better results to your business, I have to do it. I have to do it. I truly believe that creativity needs space. And if we have a creative business, whatever business it is, if we keep talking to, if I'm keep, I mean, you've always been there and I will always be here for you guys, cake makers, cake creators, cake artists. But all the new creatives, they're coming into the podcast as well. I truly believe that creativity needs space, that your business needs that creativity, and that your business should support your life and be built around your life because I have lived those beliefs and I know that is doable. Now, I'm going to confess some things here. We sometimes leave taking a break to the point where we're burned out and we cannot anymore, or the moment that we don't have any more ideas and we need to find them, or the moment that it feels so overwhelming that we need to stop. But if I told you that if you take that distance, that rest before all of that, that's the moment where you're valuing sustainability and not hustle. Now, let me be honest. Like I said before, let me be absolutely honest with you. It sounds good once you're in the other side. And it makes so much sense once you go through the questioning, the digging inside of yourself, the digging emotionally, that getting to know your priorities, your goals, what you really want, who you are. It takes time. It's not something that you suddenly do, and it's not a magic tool or system that I share with you and suddenly it works. It requires a lot of work and it requires a lot of deep work, and it's not easy. It's facing yourself before you face your business, is solving your own issues and clearing your own wounds before you face the wounds and the issues of your business. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes a lot of compromise because of course I am telling you, oh, this is calm, this is relaxed, this is good. It is good once you go through all of that, but I'm not going to lie to you and say it doesn't require anything. It's just very easy and very simple. It requires a lot of work. It just doesn't require the work that we think it requires. It doesn't require the work of having a PhD in business management, which you could. I'm not saying you don't, but healing yourself first and healing your issues will heal the issues and the problems of your creative business as well. Prioritizing your time will prioritize the time of your business. We have been working all this, I mean, the other way around. We started painting and started creating, baking cakes and starting selling our stuff before we walk the walk. So we walk the talk. So that's why I'm doing this today. And that's the perspective that I want to give to you. That is about, it's about working on yourself first. And again, I'm going to go back to my original point. It's not easy. It's not that easy. It's not like, yeah, it's, rainbows and unicorns. It requires a lot of commitments with yourself and a lot of asking questions, creating little habits. Um, but I can tell you for sure, once you do it, once you go through that, the result in the other side and the powerful tools that you're left with are going to be the ones that are going to make the difference in your business. Those are the ones. But to start opening space for your business to grow, to be clear, you have to do it on yourself first. This might not work for every business. This might not work for every kind of business out there. There are several kinds of um, compromises in businesses out there. And this is not about standard business management. This is not about accumulating business knowledge, which you need. Okay, I'm not saying you don't need it. You need to put your business cap on. You need to understand how the business works. You need to understand the laws, the legislations, the regulations. You need to register. All of that is necessary. But doesn't matter how much you invest on that side, on all the business knowledge, and you register your business, and you take your insurance, you do all of the things that you do. If when you show up for your business every single day, you're still bringing your personal issues into your business, nothing's going to change. And you can call it mindset, you can call it inner work, you can call it woo woo, you can call it whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, is that when you work on yourself, when you know yourself, when you know your true priorities and your season of life and the way you work and where is your energy, you will know how to apply that into your business. So my message today is that I believe in this. I believe the rest matters. I believe in walking the talk that I share with you, but I have to be honest. It's not that simple. It requires work, but it's doable because once you go through it, what you find in the other side, it's so rewarding and it makes your life so much easier that you will end up asking yourself, why I didn't think of this before. So yeah, this is my message today.